Good evening, everybody. Is that better? Okay. Sorry, I'll get this one day. Anyway, so I'm going to show you some other Zendoodles that I had done. And you might have seen some of these. Some of these are in my coloring book that I did quite a while ago. And I just really enjoyed doing them. A lot of times, remember when I did on the one that we were working on last week, I put that little piece of color on mine. This is what I was doing in one of my classes where I was putting a piece of color in and then doodling around it. And I just think they look kind of neat. And quite often I'll just do like a page of squares like this, and then I can just sort of experiment with different doodly things. And they're small, right? So it's not like I'm committing myself to a whole page. It's just, I can do, just a little bit at a time. And it's a little more of a bite size. You can see on this page, I haven't even finished them all, right? So I've got some that I could still do. So today, sorry, I got a couple more to show you. I was looking for a certain drawing that I'd done and I can't find it anywhere. So as I was going through things, I was like, oh, here's some more Zendoodles. And again, that's just me sort of drawing lines and then doodling in it, right? And then there's the circled ones that we did. Now, I like doing this all the time when I'm doing like a page of Zendoodles. I'll do a whole bunch and then I'll color one, just because it sort of gives you the idea of this is what it would be like if I was going to color one of them or whatever. So this one's not quite done. And here's a page of, again, Zendoodles, just ideas and stuff like that. And now this is something that my sister taught in one of her classes. And it was just me playing with that, where you take a picture of yourself and black and white it and put it in your book and do that. I did that with my students and my daughters and stuff. So it was kind of fun. So yeah. It's hard drawing on your face because you don't want to, it's weird, right? So it's like, yeah, it's a little daunting. So that's why it's easier to do animals. And so you guys saw a couple of the examples that I did. I think
they're on Facebook.
On Facebook, there was a couple of examples that we put out there. One was actually one of my students did one. And the other one is just a cool one that I had found, a picture of a cat. This is my cat. This is Missy.
We've seen her quite often walk across.
Yeah, she walks across. So this is me just taking a picture, and it's just a picture out of my printer. And then I sort of outlined her a little bit, and then I Zendoodled around her and things like that. And then I colored it with pencil crayon, which I didn't tell you to bring tonight, but you could easily do that. Anyway, so that's little Missy. Yeah.
Looks great.
Yeah. See, I was doing sketches of her too. That's why I don't draw real things. That's why I do abstract. My drawings are like, oh. Anyway, so I printed off a couple of pictures for tonight. And these aren't good quality pictures because I can see all sorts of lines in here from the printer. It's not very good, but I've got a picture of Missy, and unfortunately I've got Jack, and I keep cutting his ears off, and he's my boy. So, but Missy, I seem to get her ears all the time. So I'm probably going to work on one of those tonight and just start doodling it. This is what I finished last week. There's my little guy here with that little piece of colored stuff. That's about all I got as far as I got with that one. But anyway, so we can get started. I'm just gonna wing it here.
Huh? He's on his way.
Yeah, one might be on my
So does everybody have a picture of an animal?
Yeah.
Yep. And it can be really daunting, sort of. I guess it's harder if you're doing like a picture of a person because you don't want to mess up their face or whatever. But when it's a cat or something like that, you can just sort of play a little bit. So I'm just gonna start working on Missy, and I'm just gonna draw. I'm basically gonna draw probably just some of the lines that are already there. And then I can just sort of change them a little bit. And it may work and it may not work. But then I can also do things where I can just add like little fun little things and make her look kind of silly. I do like following the lines of the picture a little bit, just so that I have some truth to what I'm doing. And I guess, starting off with the lines is really, the good place to start, because you could just start doing lines. And then after a while, you can start adding like little patterns in the lines and things like that once you've created the shapes that you're going to embellish.
Kind of helps when you're to embolden you to start marking it up, because initially it's kind of I'm hesitant,
Yeah, it's sort of like that, afraid to mess it up.
Yeah.
And that's why it's easier to do it on an animal than it is to do a person, because oh my goodness, if you're doing a person, sometimes that can be.
So I have a question.
Mhm.
If I have a black and white photo because I don't have a color printer right now.
Yeah.
And should I trim it out and affix it to my sketchbook and work in my sketchbook, or just work right on?
I would just work right on it. And then once you've got it sort of doodled, you can decide if you want to trim it and put it in your sketchbook.
Okay.
Because then you have
And
space to sort of play with it a little bit.
every single one of them.
What kind of pens are you having problems with there? So I'm just sort of outlining her ears at this point, but eventually I'm going to do some
Can you see
different
that?
things. And don't worry about making lines that aren't there. I just took the ear line and I followed it right down to her eye, even though that's not really there. I'm really just trying to create spaces that I can do different patterns in. And then of course, like even like with this picture, the background, I'll probably do very similar to what I did before with the lines, or, you could draw flowers and stuff like that. And if I'm going to be doing things where I'm coloring it and stuff like that, whatever's in the background will probably fade out a little bit, because I'll be really doing most of the Zendoodling, I guess, there, because I still want to see her in this picture. The other thing you can do is if you're intimidated, you could always get a piece of tracing paper and trace out your shapes first. It's a way. Especially if it's
No luck with my pens.
I had pictures of chickens, but it was too dark. I don't have a good picture of Joe.
You don't have any good pictures of chickens? I have lots of good pictures of chickens.
Oh, they were all kind of dark, and I didn't have light pens. So
You wanted
Yeah.
to use a picture of me.
That's
but I
too
wasn't
bad.
able.
that's right. So I'm doing one of Leah's cat, Zed.
Oh, nice.
I am also drawing currently.
Okay.
Let's see which one let's see Zed so far. Leah?
If it shows up on the little camera, I have one I took a little while ago, but it's like I'm out of yellow ink for the most part in the printer. So it's kind of like a pink and blue version of Zed. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but
Well, that's kind of cool though, right? Because now you're
Yeah.
starting with something that's, it's less realistic, and you can be a little bit more creative with it, because you're not refined to the colors that were supposed to be there.
that's true.
You could jazz up those colors even.
Yeah.
Really go with.
Make her even more alien.
Yep.
Yeah. Hmm? What's that?
So
I'm not-
Jody was teaching art classes, and quite often she would have a project that she would teach to her students, and then I would steal that project and teach it to my students. So one of the projects that Jody would do was she would have the students draw chickens. In Jody's school classroom, she would bring in a live chicken and put it in a cage, and they would have to draw that chicken, which was great because they would get like different views of the chicken. Because I mean, you see a chicken picture and
They're
it's
always
usually,
moving.
and it's usually on its side. You see, mostly they're like sides of the chicken. Now you're starting to see front of the chicken, which is my favorite pictures, is
Right.
the front.
And the back end.
Yeah. Anyway, so I would do the same thing, but I had pictures of chickens. So I have all these chicken pictures, and some of the pictures that I have, I mean, you go on Pinterest and look for chicken pictures, and they're like chickens looking right at the camera, and they're just the funniest things. And, you know, one of the artists that I know, she was painting chickens for an art show, and she had all these funny chickens, and they were like front facing chickens. And she did all these paintings for this one art show that I was in. And they were so funny because her background for all the chickens had sort of like this creamy sort of splatters. And I laughed because I knew she was emulating chicken poop. It's just like splatters of.
It's called chicken honey.
Yeah, it was pretty
And
funny.
it's kind of yellowy like that. It's chicken honey.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
Really stinks.
but it was pretty funny because I saw what she was doing in these pictures, and they were just hilarious because the paintings were very cartoonish and fun like that. So of course they sell like really more cute pictures.
Well, I do have to say, Karen, that when chickens run, they are kind of like cartoons right there. They just, the way they run is just, we never got tired of it, eh? Leah?
No, especially when you give them spaghetti.
I would
No,
say
oh gosh, yeah.
they probably run the same way like ostriches run.
Pretty
See
much.
ostriches run.
Yeah, like mini ostriches.
Yeah.
With spaghetti hanging out of their mouths, trying to keep it from one another.
Oh, that would be fun.
That was.
Okay, so I've got some shapes here. I'm sorry, yes?
When I get some, you know, like light color pens, I'm going to try one with this picture of chickens I've got from our chickens.
Oh, nice.
But it's a lot of dark background, right?
It is a dark background.
So I thought I would fill that in with lighter than doodles.
Yeah. Well, and even like, you know, that one that I showed you of Missy, I think the background might have been fairly dark, but I really went after it with pencil crayons because I didn't want anybody to see what the background was because it's just not very exciting. So I got a few
Is
things
anybody
going on
doing
here.
one of our dog? So far we've
Yeah.
talked about cats and chickens. Has anybody got a dog?
Yeah, I'm doing one with the dog.
Oh man, look at that. What great
Aw.
cheeks.
Let me go on. Let's go on. We're going to go on gallery so everybody can see. Because you don't all need to watch me. Because can you have me as my hands, but gallery?
Yes, but
Okay.
you're not reverse, so.
It was
Okay.
good seeing you though, doing that, Karen, because
Inspiring.
yeah, it sort of helped me to make more lines than I would have.
Yeah.
Kelly's not here, so no feeling.
Yeah. Kelly is not here with her bird. I thought for sure she'd be doing a bird. So who's doing what? So I'm doing cats. Anybody doing anything different? Where's the dog that I didn't see?
Well, I'm doing a dog, but I switched because my pens are really bad, I've discovered, and I started using a Sharpie and I've turned them into a little bit of a nightmare.
It's all right.
For sure. Okay.
Is he a Sharpay now?
Now he's a Sharpay Husky. A Husky Sharpay. Then I
Okay,
started on this
Sharpay.
one, which is another one I had of Lincoln, but
Oh,
Oh,
dude.
that's
my pens are just very skippy, so I'm not enjoying my roller ball.
Oh, are they new or are they old?
Well, they're new. I scored a few freebies from work, and I'm not happy with them cutting corners on some of their purchases.
Oh, yeah. Like
You gotta
so I
have a big roller
have
ball.
mine are Uniball.
Yeah, these are the Inkjoy ones by Papermate, and they're usually pretty good, but
Hmm.
I guess as soon as you put advertising on them and they're free, I don't know.
Yeah, I have a bunch of pens that were our realtors, and I thought they were really nice pens until I started using them this year, and they're horrible.
That's what I'm discovering with these. I'm like, oh.
Hey, Karen, can you zoom in on your cat so I can see your how many segments you sort of divided your cat into?
Well, okay.
Oh,
I told you not to drink when you're doing this. Jen.
that's not quite
Why
right.
can't I find there?
Oh, there we go. Okay,
Oh wow.
got it.
So I've done quite a few little segments at this point. So, and I'm still just sort of looking and creating more little lines and stuff on her. Now, I don't want to completely Zendoodle her because I still want to be able to see her, but I'm going to do a lot more doodling in the background so that she sticks out and the background. Well, unless I just paint or like color the background in a flat color. You could do that too, where you have it's all Zendoodled and then the background is just a color, right? And I could do that with markers or something like that too.
The other, this just reminded me of something that Leah and I used to do at one point. Leah, do you remember with Jane had actual photographs and we kind of did Zendoodles by scratching into the photograph itself?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's a whole other evening.
Okay. Oh, so many ideas.
Because I've got those, you showed me those, Jody, and I kind of went nuts with them. I do a lot of cards with those, with old photographs where I scratch in or mar them, and then I paint on them, and I turn them into little pieces of artwork.
Michaela, are you doing Georgia?
I am not. I can't find a good picture of her. I looked really hard. Oh, that's right. But I couldn't find anything.
Because she would be good because she's so light colored.
I know. I'm wondering, I have my friend's dog right now, but I'm thinking I'm going to try and redo it. I'm going to try and find a picture.
Okay. Sounds good.
I just wanted to say I found a new pen today and I'm quite liking it. I had a repair guy come today and I had to sign for the repairs for my stove. And the pen he gave me was just fabulous. And I was thinking, man, this would be a great Zendoodle pen. And I says, oh, I really like your pen. And he says, oh, I got it at the dollar store. Do you want one? So
Really?
he went out. Yeah, he went out to the truck and he gave me one. And it's called a Studio Gel.
Nice.
And it's got just a little bit, it's a 0.05 or no 0.5 millimeter, but its line is just a little bit heavier than the I use the Uniball Needle Vision, which has got a really, really sharp point. So this one's just a little bit heavier, and I'm finding it's better for on the photocopy because, you know, it's kind of, the photocopy is kind of shiny and does noise. The ink sometimes like beads up.
Yeah.
So this is working better on that than the Uniball.
Yeah. So the paper that I use for my when I did my print, it's just regular copier paper. So mine has no shine to it at all. I didn't use like photo paper or anything like that. I just used regular cheap paper.
Yeah. Yeah, the same here, but I get my prints because I don't have a printer at all.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm actually using an old print. I don't know if you recognize my dancing cat.
Oh, I see.
Let's see that
But,
again.
Well, you know,
It's really cute.
and
Well,
different
that-
printers do different things, right?
but yeah,
I-
Yeah.
I get mine done at Staples, and it just, the color just puts just a little bit of a sheen on it. It's not, you know,
yeah,
it's
so
not
the-
like a photo, but
yeah.
Yeah.
it's
So the
just
difference
enough
between
to.
that is what I'm using here is an inkjet, so it's ink that's going on this paper. And what you're getting probably at Staples is the color printer is wax based. And that'll give you that little bit of a sheen. I only know that because we used to have one of those printers that took like little wax blocks, and the colors were fabulous and they were really strong, but it wouldn't have allowed me to do this as well because it would be a little bit shiny. And I'm wondering if that's what it is, because
That might
Staples
be
would
it.
have a better printer like that would do that kind of thing instead of ink.
Mhm.
So neat.
I also really like that Uniball Vision needle, the micro. I find it quite consistent. So
Yeah, that's what I'm using, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like them. I buy, like, I'll buy a box of them and just use them up. And every once in a while, the ball falls out. When it's really been, when I've used it a long time, the ball will go. So I am starting to add a little bit of detail just around the eye there.
Hmm.
Just starting to add lines and some circles and stuff like that, just to, you know, as we're sitting here.
Okay, sort of the next level of courageous.
Yeah.
Karen, do you find that it's better with this to kind of, if you want to enhance the shadows, keeping your denser Zendoodles on those areas and sort of accentuating that? Or do you find that you do more in the light areas and then it sort of makes it more the overall monotone? Any thoughts on that?
No. I don't know if I'm thinking about it that hard at this point. There are some darker shadows on Missy here, and I'll probably do those in a darker, you know, how I said before that when you're doing the doodles, it's nice to have black.
Yeah.
Those might be good areas for me to do like blacker sort of design, because then it's not yelling out.
Yeah.
Right? If I do really dark stuff on the lighter areas, then that's going to grab attention, right? But if I can do the really dark areas on the dark areas, it's a bit more subtle.
Right.
Does that make
But-
sense?
Yeah, I guess it's still choice. I guess it depends on what you want. If you want to sort of have that three-dimensional kind of, you know, like where you see the darks and stuff, then you need attention to those choices, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still
I'm
sort of feeling like this is just doodling and you know, it doesn't really,
That's my bestie.
I'm not putting a lot of thought into it. I'm just sort of
Doing the Zoom.
playing, I guess, right? So
Mhm.
not wanting to overthink it. then you also risk, even in those dark areas, the dark not showing up as much.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you decide that you want to work back into this with pencil crayon, that would change that, right? So actually, I brought my pencil crayon so I could have a look here. So I've just done like a little collar area just under her neck there with some darks. So I'm just gonna.
I want a do-over on one of the eyebrows.
No,
I'm gonna have to figure out how to fix that.
Well, just keep going. So now I'm just gonna work back into that a little bit with a broken pencil crayon. That's right. Now let me try that again.
So are you trying with the pencil crayon to lighten up that area a little bit or give more depth to your Zendoodles?
Yeah, just give it, I'm just gonna see if I can lighten up that area where I put my darker.
Yeah.
And see what that does. I mean, it's just gonna make it sort of, well, I'm doing yellow, right? Because it's a light color. And I'm just going lightly so that I don't, you know, I don't want it to be super bright.
Right. Okay, I'm going to try that too.
Okay, here.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. It's
Yeah,
hard
that
because there's a delay when I move it. There we go. So you can see just where I put yellow under the 3 areas under her chin there.
Yeah.
Just trying to get
I like that.
Yeah, and it's just, so I've got the dark, I've got a little bit of light as a highlight. And that's kind of nice. I don't mind that. But it's going to dictate the fact that I will need to use lots of pencil crayon on this later. But I like coloring. So it's actually kind of neat because it goes with her eyes. So like I can see it better here because of where I am.
Yep.
But her eyes have a bit of yellow in them. And there's nothing to say that I can't enhance her eyes either with a little bit of this pencil crayon just to make them pop a little bit. Ooh. There, so I just yellowed her eyes to a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right? So that's kind of cool. Oh, I like that a lot. She might end up with a lot of yellow and stuff on her once I get all these doodles done.
There'd be a way for you to pick from the color that you've got going, you know, just to take some clues from that since you have this altered color.
What color goes well with medium blue?
Medium blue. Well, green is nice, or you could go with a purple. I like purple and blue because they're contrasting colors.
Like a light green or a dark green?
You want contrast or do you want it to sort of reference?
Yeah, if you want it to blend, you might want to go with a darker green. If you want it to contrast, then go with a lighter green.
Okay, thank you.
That's just my thoughts.
Well, I'm colorblind, so thank you for the input.
Go with the darker gray.
Bill says go with the darker gray.
I heard. I'm not black and white colorblind. I'll try the light green. Thank you, sir.
The peanut
Not
gallery
even-
there.
You're colorblind. I mean, there's different kinds of colorblind. Can you see some color? Not others?
Yeah, I have cones. I'm red, green, and blue, yellow colorblind, but I can see colors. Just put certain colors together. I can't see anything.
Ah,
Gray, as Bill would say.
Wow.
The peanut gallery, you can refer to me. I don't mind.
Yeah, he's way over there eating my peanuts.
Bring your cat.
I'm petting my cat.
you can't just draw the cat. You have to pet them. So.
He's not drawing anything.
No, you are.
I know.
That's your job.
Yeah, he's petting my cat. I'm zendoodling his cat.
Here's these.
We each have our own. It's only because I didn't want to do a picture of Jack without his ears. I have to get some better pictures of Jack. He's my boy.
Well, you could have always put Jack on another piece of paper and then drawn the heck out of his ears.
That's true. I could, yeah, give him really cool ears.
Fantastical cat ears.
Mhm.
You can give your
Be the
cat
envy of all
donkey
your
ears. That'd be cool.
The
What's
whip?
that?
You could give your cat donkey ears. That would be cool.
I like that.
Isn't this abstract art?
Yeah, well, that is very.
Okay, Karen, can you bring just bring it up closer to the camera and let's just see how you're going in some of those areas. Oh,
Sorry.
no, that's good. Okay, you can see it. Okay, so very decorative, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of doing really, because I'm thinking of her, right? And she's very, well, she's a girl. So, I mean, yeah, my lines are going to be a little bit girly, I think, or more decorative than just, I don't know. It's like we're all concentrating so hard. I'm used to having music while I'm doing this stuff. So, but I don't think you want me to sing.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
There you go.
What's her name? Eva. That song. There's an artist.
Judy Garland?
Oh, no. No, Eva Cassidy. Have you ever Eva Cassidy singing that?
No.
Yeah.
She's got the most amazing voice. You look her up, Cassidy. She
I
does
will.
that. She's dead. Unfortunately, she died quite young. She was a
Aw.
Seattle from area, Tara. Close. She's out of the Seattle music scene. Gosh, like you just go be in tears listening to her voice sing that song and others.
I will check it out, Jode.
A musician friend of mine over one time, he says, "You gotta listen to this woman. She has the most amazing voice." So that got my attention. Not that I'm saying that you don't have a good voice, Tara.
Oh, for short spurts, Jode. Short spurt. Is it Cassidy?
Yeah, Cassidy.
Cassidy. Is it Campbell? Would that be your last name?
No, it's Cassidy. Eva Cassidy. There's some stuff on YouTube or on Spotify.
Oh, there's an Eva Cassidy Over the Rainbow.
Yep.
A couple million views.
If does Sting song Fields of Gold. Or listen. Oh, you can play for us here.
We can't play it here
Jody.
because I don't have permission to play it.
Oh.
So if you play it on here, they'll lock out the video, our
is that
video.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll stop.
Otherwise, I would be playing music all the time.
I get it.
Because I don't pay for the rights to play music.
Right.
If I play music and it's copyright, they can sue me.
Oh, well, let's not play that then.
Okay.
Or
Leave
YouTube
that
will
for
just,
your own enjoyment.
or it'll give YouTube another reason just to, cancel somebody.
Okay,
Like
no
me.
worries. Okay.
I've had a hard enough time with Facebook canceling me.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How dare they?
Yeah, well, they did. Not fun.
No, I guess not.
You're such a threat, Karen.
Yes, I'm such a threat to them.
Such a rebel.
It wasn't even me, actually. It was somebody else hacked me. But even after I told them that I had been hacked, they didn't care. They looked at my profile and said, "No, our decision stands. You're banned."
Unbelievable.
So I had to create a new Facebook account with a different email address. But the biggest problem that I have is I can't use Facebook on my phone because my phone was connected to the old account.
Right.
So I can't have access. I don't have access to it because my phone number is banned.
So you'd have to change your phone number.
Yes.
Oy, oy, oy.
To use Facebook.
To use Facebook. So. Well.
When you lost the webpage.
Yeah, I
This
lost
is,
a Facebook page.
this
This is
isn't
what-
really a great time to practice Zendoodles that you've never tried before. Because it's like, I am not, I did those tried.
Oh, I like those though.
I think it looks good. I like it.
We're
Yeah.
always
Parts of it
critical
I
of
do
our own work.
like, and parts of it are just like, when you're just not quite comfortable with that technique.
Yeah, I know.
I might like it better later.
Yeah. and you risk, you know, sort of ruining the whole thing, right? But that's
Are
sort
you
of what
having
we're
fun?
doing.
Printing it out again tomorrow. I should have printed two.
Well, that can work too.
So far, I'm just staying in the shadows. I'm just playing it safe.
You're playing it safe in the shadows. That's
I
weird
know.
for you.
Well, it's been a while since I've done this.
It was, and then I started to turn my dog into a Rasta puppy.
Rostan, Chaman,
Shaman, yeah?
everything creeps.
Like having mine, like kind of the colors being messed up from the printer kind of helped me to like not feel so bad about messing up my cat's face.
Well, yeah, you know, and that's the thing. You have to sort of separate yourself from, you know, trying to make it look like, oh, that's funny. Trying to make it look like that cat, or trying to make it a beautiful thing, or
Mm-hmm.
I just put this circle on her. It looks like she's got a pierced nose or a nose ring.
Let's see.
Just on the side there.
Very styling cat there.
A cat has a nose ring.
She fit in Toronto, right? Right, yeah.
Sorry?
She fit in Toronto.
Yeah.
That's where Leah is, everyone.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Tara, Leah. Might not have made that connection yet.
So what part of Toronto, Leah?
I'm in the west side. I'm in Parkdale, that neighborhood.
Okay. Erica was in Annex, but now she's up. Oh, man, I forget the name of the street. I want to say she's further north now.
Right.
Gwendolyn or something like that. Is it possible? Where's Hyde Park?
Oh, it's like right near me, like kind of the far west side of the city.
Oh, maybe that is where she's at. Because yeah, I should look up her address. I don't often mail her stuff.
Oh.
Since I was out there in 2016, I got to see Erica for the first time actually this past Christmas. My kids and I, for the first time in 10 years, actually got together in Chetwynd.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a long haul.
Yes.
But she ended up spending, because she can work from home, so she spent a month and a half up in Chetwynd here in BC with my oldest daughter, who just had her baby.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they had
Cute baby, by the way.
I know, isn't she adorable?
Yeah.
Not the least bit biased.
So you would have missed this because last week, part of what Karen had was and do examples, like different sheets that you can print out.
Oh, true. I realized like I couldn't remember any because it's been so long since I did Zendoodles, so I'm looking it up on my phone right now.
And I think you can start what Karen, right? You could still access, right, Karen?
Yeah, the Zendoodle example pages that I have created are available to you guys still. So I'll be, my site, I have a resources page.
Okay.
And that's where I will put things that I am giving to you guys for your own benefit or whatever. So you guys have access to those. So those are there, and as we do things, I'll put other things there. So I hope you guys are like, here I am working away here, and it's almost like the hour is almost up, and
No.
I'm takes even into this, right? Like you can spend hours doing this stuff, and it just takes it takes up time, but it's just kind of a nice thing to do.
Very zen.
Very zen. So what I want to talk to you about really quickly is what we're going to do next week, and it's still along these lines, except it's a little bit more optical.
Okay.
We're going to do some more optical drawings. And where did I put my book that I did them in? I bet you I closed it. Oh, I think I did. Sorry, I'm gonna have to look for it. So it's optical art, and it's just taking, instead of doing the doodling, it's again using the black and white, and it doesn't have to be black and white. It could be any color.
Pop art.
But doing something that is a little bit mind blowing. Okay. So it is a bit of a, it's a bit of doing like a little problem thing, right? If you do a few of them, just trying to find them all. Darn, I had, oh, okay, these are the ones I was doing. Like I loved doing these, and it's just sort of the black and white. And like for this one, I just did lines and then circles, and then it's like you have to color the opposite circle and stuff like that. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. If you're doing things, sometimes it just doesn't work out because you've overlapped the lines too many times, and it's sometimes a little bit of a challenge because you got to remember which ones you're coloring and which ones you aren't. And I have at times start working on one and it's like, oh, it's going to be so great, and then all of a sudden it's not working because I've done something weird. And like even in this one here, I messed up over in these lines somewhere because somehow they didn't work.
Right.
That's just because I overcrossed them or something. So anyway, sorry, I'm trying to get to the other one. This one here, I messed up on, but I don't mind those extra lines. Let me see. Oh, where am I going? No, I'm going the wrong way.
Oh, there we go.
There. So they can still look really interesting, and it's just, you know, those black and white sort of designs, and I quite like doing them. I started this one a long time ago. I never finished it, so maybe I'll finish it.
Very cool.
Yeah, and it might not work out either because it looks like it might be a bit of a challenge. So anyway, so that's what we're going to work on next week. I'm going to show you some of the tools that I use for creating the optical designs. Probably some more, there'll be like more drafting tools and stuff like that. Yes, a CD would work awesome. And I'll show you some of the other tools that I have that I use for that were more drafting tools, but they work really well for this type of thing too. So that's what we'll do next week.
Fun.
And very soon we'll be doing some mono printing.
Yay.
But I haven't decided when we're doing that because I've got many ways of doing that mono printing. So we'll have some fun with that. So does anybody want to show me what they've got done?
I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, nice, with some color.
Yeah, I like the
Cool.
color lines there, Tara.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
that looks great.
a Rasta dog with curly hair instead of straight hair. I don't know why I wanted him to do it, that curly hairdo, but
Can you
Wants to
take
have,
off the
like you.
gallery view so
Yeah,
we
I
can
guess.
see it better?
There she goes on the
Yeah,
right
okay.
there.
Who else
Gallery?
got something? We're all just looking at each other.
Okay.
Okay.
I just asked if we
here's
could
a-
take off the gallery view so we could see them bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, but you only be able to see the person who's talking. So
Okay.
can we turn off the gallery view, Bill?
So I screwed up the one ear. I don't know if I can get my finger in there. I really don't like what I did here. I did two different patterns.
Yeah.
I
We'll just
hadn't
keep
planned to
adding
do
to-
everything symmetrically, but it sort of just turned out that way.
Okay.
fun.
Okay, who wants to show their stuff?
Okay.
Need
So
more
Bill's,
color.
Bill's going to turn off the gallery view so that we can.
But I'm gonna leave it on gallery. Who wants to show their stuff? So we got Chloe up top here.
Okay.
So
Let's
we're
see.
gonna
Bill.
do-
Galleries.
Oh, hold it back, babe, because they can't
where-
see.
Which one's pinned?
Oh, cool.
Nice.
One down.
Oh,
Add pin. Add
So
pin.
cute.
Nice work, Chloe.
Oh yeah, those are good. There's a little saying bubble up there. What does that say?
Are we off mute? Yeah. So the one cat is climbing the tree, and then the other cat's holding on to the one cat's back. And then I think there's like a little
Yeah, there's dogs.
dog in the corner
woof.
saying woof.
Oh,
And the one cat saying, "Come on."
That's great. Okay.
Is that-
I did my husband.
Oh, look at that.
wow.
How's that going?
That's a
Yeah.
side of him I've never seen before.
Look at the curly sis.
He's definitely got curly hair, so it's
Yeah,
just like
that's-
enhanced. there.
Yeah, I like the curls on the face. That's great.
It's
You never
awesome.
knew that defacing someone would be so much fun, right? Okay, so who else wants to show?
Oh yeah.
I got one.
Hey, Elizabeth has got one.
It's kind of small, so I don't know how well you can see it.
oh,
We're
that
gonna-
looks great.
Yeah.
I like what you've done with the stripes.
Oh, wow, that looks really good. Oh, it looks nice.
Yeah, I was gonna get another print today, but I had a friend pass away yesterday, and
I'm sorry.
I just didn't feel like going to the print shop.
Yeah, no, that's
So,
understandable.
I
That
just
you did
looked to see what I had.
No, it's a good job there. Okay.
Mhm.
And
All right.
so we had one more that Chloe did of herself.
Oh,
So she
thank you.
just added makeup
Oh.
and hair color.
And hair color.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
lovely. See, it's hard to draw on your face when you just want
Well,
to make yourself look
when
better.
you're 8 and all you've been dreaming of is makeup, it's actually quite easy.
You're gonna find those all over the house now. Here I am with this makeup, and here I am with that makeup.
You
Okay.
should put them on popsicle sticks so they're like little head puppets popping up around things.
Excellent. Okay, Jody, what have you got?
Oh, okay. So as again, I played it safe. So I'm working on this area here. You can see in the dark, and then I've got some definition and a little bit of whimsy line there, and I'm just starting to work in this. But you
Oh,
can
that's
still
nice.
my Z.
That looks
So-
really cool. It looks like a drawing, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's like the one that I first did of Missy is it looks like I drew her, and it's pretty good because I don't draw. So Leah, let's see what you got.
Great. So
It's-
so here's her face,
Ooh,
and
oh,
then here it goes. So I did like a lot of like sectioning off different little pieces, and then I've just started doing some like
oh, that looks
Dude.
really good.
ah,
yeah,
Yeah, the purple is
Very
gonna be really
symmetrical.
fun.
yeah.
she
I'm
looks like
excited.
Space Cat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Looks like something from Doctor Who, Leah.
yeah.
yeah, it does.
Spencer, do you want to show us yours?
Well, I'm afraid I don't really know where I have to go on your website or to find what we're doing each week for supplies. So I didn't have an image. So I took
Oh,
what I had done from last week and I added a little color to my little doodle. So that's
Oh,
oh well, I like that though.
that's
Look
my
at
that.
doodle,
Those
that's my
lines,
doodle
those
from
are
last
good.
week with a little bit of blue and green in it. So
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Where do I go? I'm sorry, don't mean to be a drag. Where do I go to know what supplies I need each week? Can I
think
go on
if
the website under something?
It's a-
KarenBeco.com/studio.
Okay, thank you.
Studio.
Yeah.
And that's where you'll find everything. Okay.
And I boo-booed. I didn't send you a link to this time. Sorry, dude.
Okay, Brenda,
right.
did you do anything?
That's all right.
Don't
Brenda?
put me on the spot like that. I didn't, my printer's not working, but I made a little Zendoodle card.
Okay, hang on.
Oh, and this is the one that you showed us earlier.
No.
this week.
No,
Oh,
this
is
is
it?
just one that I did while you guys were doing that. This is the one in my sketchbook that I just started coloring. It's not,
Oh, it looks really good though.
I'm not a creative person. I need a pattern and instructions.
No, you did
Think of
just
these as
right.
destructions. Did
Pardon?
Leslie show hers? Think of these as destructions.
Destruction.
Oh, okay. No, I need instructions.
Okay. So Leslie.
You're muted, Leslie. Yeah.
So I can't tell what I'm doing here. So I've done a lot of texture in Pippa, but I haven't added a lot of color yet. I think because it's black and white, I wish I had actually cut her out
Yeah.
and put her on just a white surface and then did some of these textures around her and she might have stood out a little better.
Well, you can
But-
still do that, right?
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
no reason that
Living
you can't
my-
still do that.
Nope. And I might cut and paste on a new ear.
I think I'm gonna have nightmares now that I see Pippa like that.
Donna, are you still around? Or you want to show you off your stuff? Or did you go away because you're on the phone?
I can't see her.
Yeah.
And then where's
Who else?
the other girl?
Michaela.
Michaela. Where's Michaela? Is she?
Oh.
Is Michaela still here?
Nope.
Nope, she left, I guess. She didn't want to show.
She got ready while the
She's
getting
like,
was good.
she left
Oh,
before the
did-
getting was
Did you get a
good.
good look at Tara's? Or was that?
Let's do Tara's again, because I think we were still on,
I started trimming mine out and adding them into my sketchbook to get prepared to Zendoodle around them.
oh, okay. Well, that's all right.
Let's see, Tara.
I like the monkey too. Yeah, I like those swirls. Those look
You know who
fun.
he reminds me of? He reminds me of your George.
Yeah.
And the funny story about that little monkey, I got him as like a thing at work when I sold cell phones from
Yeah.
TELUS. And I brought him home and I put him in my studio and Lincoln kept circling around the bookshelf and looking up at him and then whining and looking up at him. So I put him down on the carpet and this was probably about 4 years ago. And he adopted him. He will not let anybody play with that monkey. It has to be on my bed. If it falls on the floor, he gets fussy. He won't actually put it in his mouth, but he cuddles it and he licks it and he cleans it, but he won't pick it up. So if it falls off the bed or off the couch, if that's where he wants it, and he'll let you know when he wants you to move. I call him Joey. It's really quite cute. He has this relationship with this little stuffed animal that he's very protective of.
Well,
And-
I can understand that because I have the same relationship with George.
Yes, you do.
George.
Here he is.
There he is.
Where?
Oh, he's still there.
Oh,
So
gosh.
I know
And
he's so ugly.
she's had that monkey, you guys, since she was a little tiny kid when we hung out
So
together.
37 years.
37 years.
Wow.
So it's quite funny because I actually have two of George. I have my Aunt Adelaide had Jocko was George's brother, apparently.
Okay.
Anyway, Jocko has never been loved and mauled, although I love Jocko, has never been mauled like George. Completely different looking monkey. And I have both of them. And it's so funny because poor George, his legs fall off and he's not in very good shape, but
He's a world traveler too. I
Yes.
mean, that
yeah,
guy's been to New
he's been to
Zealand.
New Zealand and back. And so he's down in the basement with me in my studio. He stays with me. So
Aw.
That's sweet.
He's pretty special.
yes, I'll be cremated with him. Because no one will ever want him more than I do.
Oh, I know.
Anyway, all right. Well, you guys, thanks for joining in and have fun with your doodles. Oh, you can see it much better there on this picture, I guess. Anyway, that's the one that I did. So I'm still working on her. But
What do they need for next week?
so next week, just pens in your sketchbook and maybe some shapes to draw with.
And it looks like
And what?
All right.
ruler, it looks like.
A ruler, yeah, like a ruler and a CD and anything else you think that you would like to make a shape with.
Okay.
So anyway, and that's what we'll do next week. All right.
All
Thanks,
right,
Karen.
Doodlebots.
Okay. Keep working on your things. Well, I want to see them this week. So let me know how you're doing with your doodle, and I'll
So
take
you
my
want us-
little,
Oakley, Oakley.
You
yeah.
want us to do pictures? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, send me pictures of what you've done.
We'll throw them up on
We'll
Facebook.
put them on Facebook. So be prepared. I'm not asking permission. I'm just going to do it. Actually, he's going to do it.
Okay.
Because I don't do Facebook because they banned me. So I'm
I was
bitter.
gonna say, aren't we mad at Facebook now?
Yeah, so I don't really do it actually. So if you're talking to me on Facebook, it's usually Bill.
He has pointed that out.
Yeah, he's my other half. So he answers for me.
I get it right sometimes too.
Everyone's one. So
You do a good job, Bill.
yeah, he does a good job. So, all right.
All
Okay.
right.
Well, you guys have a good night. Have a great week.
Okay.
And
Yes, stay on.
again, if you have anything you want me to cover while we're doing this stuff, or if you have any ideas you want to explore, just please drop me a line and let me know, and I'll see what we can do. Okay.
Okay.
Other than that, have a great week.
Thank you so much.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.